Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Saturday Morning Coffee with Back to Basics Dog Training. For all that are up on this Saturday morning joining me, welcome and thank you for watching. I kind of screwed up on my post about this in the beginning. I said that this stream will be at 11 o'clock. Good morning, Nevis. How are you? How did things work out last week? I said that this was going to start at 7 p.m. I made a mistake. Welcome to the world of technology. Good morning, Donna. So it is at 11 o'clock. I may do another one tonight at 7 o'clock. I haven't decided because of my little boo-boo, but we'll figure that out later. So again, welcome. If you're watching me live now or in living color or watching me later on in the replay, shoot me a comment. Let me know you're here. Give me a shout out. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm glad things are going a little bit better. Just keep working at it. That's the key, guys. I mean, we talk about it week in, week out. Consistency, staying consistent with what we're doing. Whatever the exercise is that we're working on our dog or the behavior we want to change with our dogs, be it separation anxiety, aggression, whatever it is. If you stay consistent, not only with every time they have the unwanted behavior, every time you make the proper corrections. Good morning, Beverly from Brooklyn, New York. It's real important to stay consistent with what you're trying to do with your dog. Don't expect them to get it day one. It's a labor of love. I said this constantly. Every time we work with our dogs, we have these unwanted behaviors. It's real important to stay consistent. And if they make the mistake today, we correct it. We teach them how to turn the no into a yes. If they make the same mistake tomorrow, we can't be in our minds and say, oh, I don't feel like dealing with this today. It doesn't work that way, guys. It's not fair to the dog that you're trying to help out. So just for all my customers up on Long Island and up and down the East Coast from Long Island or upstate New York, anywhere in New York to South Carolina, I've changed my trip that I was planning on coming up. I'm actually going to be coming up, it looks like a week earlier. I think I'm going to be leaving here on the 21st. So if my head can get out of my own way right now, my goal is anybody who needs some help training, I'll start on the 27th or 28th up on Long Island. You got to shoot me a comment, shoot me a text, let me know you need some help while I'm up there. And we can fit you into my schedule. I'll create a schedule. I will be posting this out on Facebook later on today, letting people know I'm going to be up there, available to do some training while I'm up there. So I'm going to be up there for a good two weeks to be able to help you guys out. So just give me a shout out. So I want to get into something we spoke about last week, if that's okay with you guys. And again, I mean, last week, thank God, Long Island, the hurricane shifted east and you guys didn't really get the brunt of it. Good morning, Michelle, Michael, and Athena. How are my guys doing? But right now, when I do this broadcast, I share it to rescue groups all across the country because it's real important to me to reach out to all the rescue groups. And that's why I keep asking you guys, this is a free service that I provide to you. The only thing I ask in payment is please share this information out with your friends and neighbors and fellow dog lovers and your family around the country, around the world, and get this broadcast popping for us so we can really, really help out, or like I said, around the country and around the world. So I do share this thing out. So I'm going to, so I know some of the rescue groups I shared this to are in Arizona. I mean, not Arizona, Arkansas, Louisiana, and places like that are getting hit by, it looks like, a very major hurricane. So I want to talk about storm preparedness for not only for the humans, but for the dogs as well. And I understand sometimes, like what the horrible incident that happened in, I think it was Tennessee with the sudden flooding. There's nothing we can do, but we could be prepared in advance, even for some of these disasters that happen very quickly. And it's no different. Get your go bag ready is basically what I want to say. So if you know your dog, you have a dog, and there's a possibility of a hurricane, a storm, a winter storm, if you're in a climate that gets really heavy blizzards where you may have to evacuate or whatever, have a go bag ready. What should be in the go bag? Of course, any medication your dog needs, any, your leashes, your collars. I would say have extra leashes, extra collars on hand. Get some Ziploc bags, watertight type bags. Put some food in there, the kibble, whatever, that you put in a couple of days before if you know something's going to happen. Have food ready and enough food to last for whatever you think the duration of this storm is going to take or the evacuation is going to take. It's real important. You don't want to forget the little things. And the thing I'll tell my fellow dog lovers out there, if you have a dog that's dog reactive, people reactive, that doesn't mean you can't evacuate because you have no place to go with your dog. The other thing I forgot in the very beginning is today, before anything, check with your local counties, your local states, or whatever it is, and find out where the nearest evacuation shelter is that is animal friendly. Guys, don't forget this. It's real important. You don't want to be scrambling at the last minute trying to get on your phone when we have a storm coming in and you lose internet or cell towers go down or whatever. So find this all out in advance. Plan out your routes. Get it all done. How are you? I have a dog at ACC trying to get her, but she doesn't like dogs and cats. I'm doing good, Rita. How are you? Having dogs that don't like dogs and cats is very common, especially dogs that are in shelters. Guys, think about a shelter environment. We'll get back to our evacuation. Rita, I'll get back to that. I just want to finish wrapping up this evacuation thing real fast. If your dog is dog reactive or people reactive, get muzzles today. And you can get two different types. You got the Baskerville muzzle or you got the nylon ones that just slip right over real quick. It's safer. I'd rather you have the muzzle than, God forbid, your dog does something stupid, bites another dog, bites a human, and you get kicked out of the shelter in the middle of a storm. So if that's the case, get it now. Get your dog used to wearing the muzzle. This way you can go there knowing the dog's muzzled, can't bite anybody, you can relax. And what I want to tell people, which is the most important thing about when we deal with these disasters, is, as I always say, and I'll put the blurb up here because it's such a key thing here, that the energy is the most important form of communication we have with our animals. Is think about the energy during this. People are going to be tense. People are going to be worried about their homes, this, that, the other thing, family members, loved ones, whatever. So the energy in these evacuation shelters is going to be off the chart. It's real important you as doggy parents stay as calm as possible because that's what your dog needs you to be. It's like dealing with kids when you know something bad is happening. It's our job to stay calm so we don't freak out the kids. So it's the same thing with the dogs. So, I'm going to put out a video on my YouTube channel. I may do it today. I have a session at 1 o'clock. I may do it afterwards if I can figure out how to set up everything. I'll post it here on Facebook also with a little bit more details on this evacuation thing. I think this is really important. I don't see any videos out there on it, and I think it can really help people. So you have a dog that's in the ACC, in the I hate to say it, in the shelter, and you're trying to but doesn't like cats and dogs. Okay, it's very, very common. First of all, think about the shelter environment. It's a lot of chaos. Dogs are penned up next to each other. There's a lot of fence fighting going on because they don't know what to do with. They don't know how to deal with it. It's a crazy. The energy is off the charts in these places, guys. So of course, dogs are going to react differently. Even I've seen or heard stories about dogs that were really, really good with other dogs in the beginning, and after their stay in a shelter, really hated other dogs because this is what they're seeing. It's such a bad, negative energy in these places. And they don't know what to do with it, so they feel it's survival. And I say this all the time, dogs are predators by nature. This goes into more of the cats. The thrill of the chase, the thrill of the kill, that's natural. That's DNA, guys. I don't care how domesticated these dogs are. So dogs tend to have that thrill of the hunt. It could be birds, squirrels, raccoons, possums, cats, smaller dogs, other dogs, whatever. It's that thrill. Most of these dogs, it's not that they really want to kill. It's the excitement, the thrill of the chase. So it's, what do I always talk about? Excitement. You got to learn to bring the dog's excitement levels down to zero at all times when you're trying to reintroduce them to the world. And what do I mean by that? So you have a dog that's dog reactive or cat reactive, it doesn't matter. So the first thing I would do is work with dogs if that's the case. And I would bring it to a controlled environment. I like the concept of dog parks because you can do a lot of work outside of dog parks. Good morning, Beverly. Um, so you bring the dog to the outside, but you take the dog to a dog park or a place where there's dogs. I don't care what the dogs are on the other side of the fence, how they're acting or whatever. It's not my problem what the dogs are doing on the other side of the fence. It's my problem what my dog is doing that I'm handling. So I get to the dog park. We take the dog out of the car. The dog has to come out of the car calm. We have to start that process of zero excitement there in the parking lot, in the car, before we get out of the car. We start this process there. And then with confidence, because your energy is going to make or break everything, guys, with confidence, you start walking towards the dog park. Again, this is always easier if you have a pack of dogs that you know are good, calm dogs. If you're dealing with public dogs, you got to deal with a little bit more to do it. And it's not a matter of bringing the dogs into the dog park. I'm not saying that because that's setting them up for disaster. But you got to start that process of walking from the car to the dog park with you in control. Not the dog leading you, not the dog smelling everything, not the dog pulling you. Because if the dog is pulling you, smelling the ground, doing all this nonsense, they're not in that zero state of calm mind. And it's real important to help them understand a better way to be social. Dog parks are not about, exercise, guys. It's about socialization. Dogs are social animals. But again, if they don't know because they've been in an environment like a shelter how to really be social, it's your job to teach them. So with confidence, you take your dog, short leash, and you're walking there. And any time the dog breaks that zero calm, your job is to stop the process, get them back to that state of mind, and then once they're there, doesn't have to use a lot of words, you continue your walk to the gate. And what you want the dog to do is focus more on you. As their pack leader, you're bringing them to this situation, you're calm, so they should be calm. And then when you get outside there, it's harder because now you got dogs maybe at the fence, jumping on the fence, barking at the fence. Your dog has to focus on you. And anytime you need to back up 10 steps, back up 10 steps and start the process over. The same thing can go with cats. You have the cats in a room because you got to keep them separate from the dog, whatever. You bring the dogs to where the cats are on leash, of course, because your leash is your friend. But you control the walk. So say if the room is upstairs in your house and that's where the cats are and you got them boxed off, baby gates, they have to see each other. Closed doors don't work. Baby gates, if you have another person in with the cats, that's even better. And you bring the dog there. At any time, if that dog is not 0% calm, we stop the process, bring them back down to calm, and then we continue the process. And then we bring them into the room where the cats are, and everything has to stay calm, including the cats. But if the dog's energy is calm, the cats are going to read that and they're not going to feel that threat. They're not going to react that way. But everybody has to stay calm. Guys, it's all about the energy. I can't stress it enough. It's all about the energy. If you actually believe you can do this, and your dog, and you have that trust in your dog, and your dog has that trust in you, you can move them past all this. I've done it. I've showed people how to do it. It works. It's time, it's patience, it's love, but it works. Bobby says, my friend and poor Jefferson, hey, my old alma mater, rescued a 2-year-old Papillon from Puerto Rico. They love the dog, but he continues to bite them when they pet him. They've tried stern love to show dominance as you recommended a month or so ago. They brought him to the vet. His fine in spite of previous surgeries, one eye, hernia, or whatever. Vet recommended putting the dog down. I love vets. They're besides themselves. Had to train it to the house, no change. They're an older couple. Dog is the only pet. Possibly they could call you when you come to. Absolutely, give them my number. I don't know if I have the number up here. If I put it in here, I think I might have, but I don't know what I do half of the time. Yes, here we go. Here's my number, guys. By all means, have them reach out to me. Have them reach out to me before so I can set it up. The one thing I would say, I know that you said they're an elderly couple. Guys, 90% of unwanted behaviors have the problem because the dogs don't have structure in their lives. Be it they came from Puerto Rico, be it they came from a shelter, I don't really care. They don't understand structure. They're structured animals, same as we are. And the best place to establish structure is on a walk. Dogs aren't, especially smaller dogs, because they don't get the same rules as a bigger dog. Like if this Papillon was, a lab, this would be unacceptable behavior. Um, but walks are really, really important. The walk, again, you're not going to physically tire out the dog. Yes, you will. It's physical. So you will physically get the dog tired, but it's more about being mentally tired. And Bobby, what I would recommend your friends to do in the interim is go to my YouTube channel. It's Back to Basics Dog Training. Look for the logo. Um, and I have that series on how to leash train your dog, which is really mastering the walk. It's real, real important. The walk I set up is very structured. It's about leadership. That's what the walk should be. If the dog doesn't want to walk and the dog wants to control the walk, the dog's in charge. This Papillon is not an aggressive dog by nature. I don't care what this vet says. No dog is aggressive by nature. Aggression is an outcome of an issue that we just haven't addressed properly. And a lot of these times when I hear about dogs, especially coming from foreign countries, because they're not as domesticated as the dogs in the United States, it's survival. The Papillon learned that if I do this, you leave me alone. They become powerful. And the more they do this over time, the more they realize that they're in charge. And 99.9% of the time, it's fear-based because they don't know what to do. It's scary. And it's really a matter, I don't know what type of trainer they had. I don't really care. The vet I'm not too thrilled with. I hate to say it, it's an easy solution. The vet doesn't understand training. They don't understand, animal psychology. So, when they don't know, it's easier to say, put the dog down. I actually had a trainer that I followed up with on a couple customers that said the same thing to dogs, and the dogs are fine. It happened to be a Papillon, as a matter of fact, that I was working with that was aggressive towards men and towards other dogs. And I walked in, the first thing I noticed, it was fearful. It wasn't aggressive. It was scared to death. And it just had to learn a different way to do things. It wasn't that hard. I think the whole process took maybe a half hour to get used to me and less time to get used to a dog I brought with me because I knew it was dog aggressive. So things can move forward. It's just how the people do it. The walk, guys, is the most crucial thing. If you can establish the walk the way I designed it in my video series, and I'll put that in the comments once we finish this on the Facebook page and on the YouTube channel. I think there's a way to do it, or in the description on my YouTube. I don't know how it works. I'll put the playlist in there. As a matter of fact, if you watch this later on YouTube, it'll be there too, in one of the little pop-ups. It's real, real important, guys, to do the walk, the structured walk that I set up. There's the battle of the trainers. Dogs should sniff everything. Dogs should do this. Dogs should do this on the walk. It's their time. Blah, 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 blah. It's a bunch of crap. Dogs are structured animals. They need it. Watch dogs travel, wild dogs travel through a territory. They're going someplace. They're not stopping to smell the roses. There's a time and a place for that, but not in the beginning. We got to teach them. And again, in my opinion, their noses are strong enough to smell that Fido peed on the mailbox from 5 feet away, so they don't need to go to the mailbox to smell it. And it's not about marking their territory, because if they're marking their territory, they're saying they're in charge. Who's in charge? You guys. So I hope that makes sense. Bobby, please give them my number. Tell them to reach out to me. Texting is always the best if they can't. Let me know. Piggybacking off your, I hope I say your name right, Tenzing. Piggybacking off your earlier question, we are fostering to adopt soon, and the dog male was understandably fearful at the ACC when we met him. Absolutely. We do have a dog, female. I did get it right. Cool, I'm getting better at this stuff. A male. We do have a female at home, and both dogs are dog friendly. How can we prepare ourselves in our home to have a good environment to decompress? Well, first of all, thank you for using the word decompress. Every dog that comes into a house needs time to decompress. And again, depending on the dog, how much time they need to decompress is a different thing. So my suggestion is, first of all, at the shelter, have you brought your dog to the shelter to meet the other dog? That would be my first thing I would highly, highly suggest. Bring them, Let them meet in neutral territory, hopefully in a calmer area. I'm not sure how the shelter's set up. Hopefully there's a quiet space they can all meet and greet. But definitely do a meet and greet and a pack walk together. The pack walk's not designed for playing. Even the meet and greet is not designed for playing. It's designed to be a meet and greet. Hey, how you doing? I'm Leon. Nice to meet you. If everything goes good there, of course, then you're going to bring the dog home. My suggestion, and I do have a video again on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. I need some subscribers on there. How to introduce a dog to your home. Now, I was talking about just bringing a dog in as if it's the only dog, but you can take it to having another dog in the house. First thing is set up a place in your home where there's a quiet space for the new dog to go, because this is overwhelming. This is new. This is, the best time to set the structure now and the rules, boundaries, and limitations for the new dog. When you bring the dog home, the worst mistake humans make is we smother them with love, 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 love. Love the dog, but love the dog what it is. It's a dog. Don't worry about its past. Don't worry about the shelter. Don't worry about whatever the shelter told you is the dog's backstory. That's all irrelevant at this point, because that's yesterday. When you bring the dog home, it's so important to set the rules first before the affection. Make them earn your affection, basically, is what I tell people. So what I do whenever I bring a dog into, when I brought a dog into my home that was a rescue dog or whatever, when I had other dogs, the first thing I did is I had an area where it was quiet in the house that I can put gates around it to keep everybody the hell away from this dog with a crate. And after our pack walk together, again, once you get home, you do a pack walk with both dogs around the neighborhood, maybe in the backyard, let them be interactive but not playing. The new dog comes in, goes right to its quiet space, put it in the crate, and let it have some time to settle down. It may bark, it may do all that stuff, deal with it. And then slowly, after a couple, maybe an hour or two of it being in the crate, you bring it outside to the yard or wherever you're going to take the dog out. On leash, guys. When you first rescue a dog, it should always be on a leash whenever it's outside. I don't care if you have a fenced in yard. It should be on a leash. It's got to understand there's rules even in the yard. And it's really, really important to set the groundworks. And everything has to be based on calm. If you feel comfortable and you see the dog is calm, even in the house, keep it on a leash. Go into your living room if you choose. Sit down on the floor. Don't invite the dog on the couch. You'll let it earn the privileges. I don't care if your other dog is already on the couch. They don't look at it that way. And on leash, everything stays calm. Everything in the house has to be at zero calm. I can't stress that enough. In my world, if I have multiple dogs, playtime is not in the house. It's in my yard, or in where I live now, the dog park, because I don't have a yard. But it's always based, the inside always represents calm. I don't let dogs play in the house because, one, they become destructive, and they're in confined areas, and the excitement gets too much, they can get into a fight. When you do feel calm, and decompression can take anywhere from a month or 6 months, guys, before a dog shows its true colors. But the more you do with this dog, the more you do rules, boundaries, limitations before the affection, Tenzin, the better it will go. Do the structured walk that I talk about on my YouTube channel. Follow the steps. Donna mentioned on here, threshold management and the structured walk helped with all of the control with Stark. It built, I'm going to put this up there, guys, because all of a sudden I have a hard time reading. Threshold management, it built our confidence, and it helped him understand who the pack leader is. And that's episode 2 on my Master in the Walk Back to Basics. My How to Leash Train a Dog. Threshold management is crucial. Donna and Rich and the kids took that threshold management to the umpteenth level like I do. It's not only at the front door. It's at the back door. It's at the gates. It's at any point where the dog can go to the outside world. So it's so important to the dog that we understand that we are in charge, especially with a new dog coming into the home. I don't care, again, if you have a dog or if you're bringing a dog in, you're the only dog in the house. Set the rules first. I know people want to smother these dogs with love, 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 love. And it's real, that's the human in you. But you need to do what's right for the dog, and that's set the rules. Rules. Again, I quote people because they say, right, Cesar Millan does say it the best. It's exercise, discipline, and then affection. that order, guys, affection is the last one. Unfortunately, what I see mostly with these rescue dogs um, is affection, 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 and very little rules. So the best advice I can give you is set what rules you want in your house first. Quiet room. Dog should be in the crate, not on the furniture, not running around the house like a lunatic for at least 2 weeks in my world. And just watch my video because it'll definitely help you out. Michelle said, well, let's just touch base down. Said, we do threshold management with each of the bedrooms too. Great. He's only allowed in when invited. Perfect. And he appreciates it. I know that. Athena says, sorry, Michelle. Michelle says, Athena has been getting up lately in the middle of the night. Tenzin, let me know next week how this works for you, because every week, don't forget, I'm here, guys, doing this for you. So let me know how it works for you. I do appreciate it. Or give me a follow-up text or Facebook message or whatever. In the middle of the night, although we take her out at 11 every night, Rob takes her out, and when she comes back in, she storms my bed and is very aggressive. We have to calm her back down to go back to bed. I'm tempted to make her sleep in her crate instead of on the bed. Absolutely, I would consider doing that as well. The other thing I would say is when you come back into the house after a walk or going out or whatever is just as important for threshold management as when you go outside to the outside world. So when you come in, she has to be calm. She has to be invited into the house at zero calm. The leash should be on all the way to the point where you get to where you want her to be, because you want to recondition. Whatever happened, something changed in her. She's being an idiot right now. So what I would do if this was me is, unless things have changed since I've last talked to you, when Athena goes out in the yard, she's usually on a leash as well. So when she's coming back in, I know this is a pain in the ass. It's 11 o'clock at night. Nobody wants to do it, but tough shit. Excuse my language. Bring her back in, make her sit at the door. Rob, or you invite her in, and that whole walk from point A to point B, which is the bedroom right now, which is the problem, has to be at zero calm. Anytime she breaks protocol, we have to correct her. And if you have to do the muzzle at this point because you're worried about the bite, just to relax you guys, put the muzzle on her. You have to break this cycle. This is a new pattern she's developing. Why? Don't matter. But you want to break it. By putting her in the crate right away, it's almost like you're punishing her, and I don't want to use the crate as punishment. I'd rather you teach her that whole process from point A to point B is calm. If she jumps on the bed, because I would keep the leash on her when you invite her in your bed. If at any point in that process, even jumping on the bed, if she goes too damn fast, then bam, you pop her and take her off the bed, and we start the process over right then and there. Again, it's a labor of love, and nobody wants to do this at 11 o'clock at night. It has to get done. Otherwise, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. Like I said, aggression is an outcome of an issue that wasn't treated properly. So it's worth it to do it, but it's a time and a patience thing. And at 11 o'clock at night, who the hell wants to do it? Have to. I walk Zoe most nights, anywhere between 11 and 1, depending on how tired I am. And that's a lot of times when I work with her on things I haven't worked on her with in years, which is the off-leash healing, stop when I stop. She must have forgot that because I realized she wasn't doing it. I would stop and she would continue meander, and I'll be like, hey, get back here. So, but I do it when she doesn't bite, but gets very physical as if I'm another dog. Yeah. And that's showing dominance on you. I don't know how else to say it. She's playing with you as a pack mate, or treating you like a pack mate, not a pack leader. Again, I know you've been working with another trainer. I'm hoping you're taking the reins more than Rob, because I think she takes advantage of you. Excuse me. And you need to step it up in a calm, assertive way. It is real important that you do that. Michelle, I don't know if you heard that I am coming up at the end of September. I'd be willing to come out there and work with you and the other trainer, but I need you to take the lead. And I need you to see you have it in you. Up until you actually believe that you can do this, Athena's never going to believe it. And that's the scary part that people don't seem to understand. I know when I first met Donna and Rich and the kids, they were at their wits' end. They didn't think this was going to happen. But the more their confidence got built by seeing the smallest of small results, their confidence started building. Stark's confidence in them started building. And the nonsense slowly but surely disappears. I'm not saying Stark's 100% perfect, because I won't say my dog's always 100% perfect. But it's consistency. And if Athena responds to Michael better than she responds to you, you need to step up your game. And I don't mean to sound crude or crass. I think you guys all know me, but I am very blunt about it. It's real important. It's not his responsibility. It's not yours. You're together on it. Rob can. Why did I say Rick? It's Rob, right? Can back you on it and assist you, but not take over. Because if he takes over, you're not relevant. The other thing I would try doing, maybe, I don't know how it works in your home, Michelle, is maybe you should be the only person that feeds Athena. Become the provider of food in a calm, zero excitement state of mind. Feed her. You become more relevant. The one who provides the food is the leader. So that may be something you may want to try too, but it has to always be based on calm. John says, my dog starts playing with you, then he gets so excited he starts to bite you. Absolutely happens almost to every single dog I've ever known. It's very common because don't forget, John, the way dogs play with each other is they bite. If they're initiating the play with you, they're in control. You're not a pack leader, you're a pack mate. But again, as a human, you keep hearing me throughout this broadcast saying everything starts at zero calm. If they're not zero calm, their mind is not proper. It's not set properly. So if you have a dog, I don't know how old your dog is, if it's a puppy or whatever, they are going to play bite. But if they initiate the play, first of all, their mind's not at zero calm. Dog shouldn't initiate the play with you. You should initiate the play with your dog. When you initiate the play with your dog, they should be at zero. You call them over, you want to play with them, you want to roughhouse, whatever you want to do. But it's also your job to watch those levels of excitement. I use a 0 to 10 scale. 0 being what we talked about. He's 5-year-old bulldog. Oh, so he's stubborn too. And his bites hurt. But if you initiate the play with him, you really grab him by his little jowls or whatever, that's fine. But when he gets to a point where you think his excitement has reached a certain level, and I do use that 0 to 10 scale, and I tell most people stop it at about a level 3 because it gets painful after that. Your job is to end the play when you say he's getting too rough. Okay, enough. Hold him. You have to be calm because, again, if you're not calm, he ain't calm. And then bring him all the way back down to 0. Reset him, praise him for calming down, and then play. But you have to initiate the play because if he's initiating, it's no different than your kid saying, hey, feed me now, or take me to the mall now, or buy me, this now, or do this now. You're not going to tolerate it from your human kids, so why tolerate it from our doggy kids? So if you initiate the play, he's understanding you're more in charge. And when you end the play, you leave his mind calm. Too many people end the dog's play because it's getting too rough, but the dog's mind is still here somewhere. They don't understand what the hell's going on. They go back after you, and you get pissed off at your dog, and it's not their fault because you never brought their mind down to calm. Remember, guys, the only connection we have with our dog is with our energy. Bringing it is a calm state of mind. We have a control over the state of mind. I say this constantly. We never go to physically control dogs. I'd rather mentally control dogs. It's like people that, dogs are reacting and they're pulling them back. That's a physical motion that actually creates a negative. He won't bite me. So it's other people in the home that he bites? Because if that's the case, He's not looking at the other people in the home as a pack leader. As pack leaders, he's looking at them as pack mates. Every human in the house should be a pack leader. Yeah. So they need, and I know it's hot out and you got to be careful with bulldogs because of overheating. That's where, and I'm going to go back to it again, guys. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to it. I'll put links all over these videos today after they upload and do their crap that they have to do. Watch my playlist on how to leash train your dog. The walk is about leadership, structure, and leadership, period, end of discussion. And if he is looking at anybody else in the house as pack mates, they need to be the one walking the dog in a structured manner. Not about sniffing the ground, peeing, pooping at this point. We're talking about structure. They need to do that because that will establish them in charge because they're going to lead the walk. That means, and if you do threshold management, which Donna said earlier is the most important part, which is episode 2, but not only to go to the outside world, but to come back into the house. These behaviors start disappearing because then the dog will look at the rest of the family differently. We don't want the dogs looking at us as pack mates because pack mates play rough. As rough as dogs play with each other, reality is, guys, you and I are bloody messes. That as hard as they bite each other in play, you and I are bloody messes. They are a lot tougher than we are, but it all starts with the same thing. Calm, calm, calm. Nothing is accomplished if the dog is overly excited. And I've said this before, I don't remember the last time I said it, but excitement is the number 1 cause of number 2 cause of aggression in my world. Overexcitement turns to aggression very quickly, and then as humans, we don't correct it properly, and it becomes a snowball effect. The number 1 cause of aggression is fear. No doubt in my mind. Fearful dogs are more aggressive because they feel they need to protect. And I don't like using the word aggressive, but that's how humans understand it. So if everything is based on calm, especially in the walk, things change. I know this for a fact, guys. I've been doing this for enough years. The walk is the most crucial part. I tell people we need to start putting more onus on walking our dogs properly. And there's a whole bunch of different methods of walking out there. Go Google it. There's tons of them. Don't agree with a lot of them. Agree with some of them. Mine I happen to agree with because I've used it for 40 years and I've never had a dog out of control. It teaches them a lot, and it's more about leadership. And that's the key. And if he's not going after you, John, that way because he respects you as a pack leader, that's great. But now we got to get the rest of the family members on board so they can do this with confidence. And, I'm in charge. And this can start from a child at a very young age. Yours has been the most helpful for our family. Yeah, guys, it's not because I want this. I can care less. It works. It's a proven system. I've tweaked that system over 40 years. And, people always ask, well, what tool should I use? What should I do? What type of collar? What type of this? Don't use harnesses. Don't use harnesses. Use a halter. Hey, I don't care what tools you use as long as, one, they're safe for the dog and they're not going to hurt the dog. I'm not a big fan of harnesses, but if you have success with it, use it. Use what's comfortable for you. On a bulldog, a halter won't work. Personally, I like martingale style collars, slip leashes. If we have to progress to a prong, we progress to a prong. If we have to use e-collars, we use e-collars. But those are all case-by-case basis. There's no set standard on that. But me, I always start every dog I've ever worked with on a simple slip leash. And that's what I judge it off of. If I can control them on a slip leash, we don't need to go to other tools. But there are times we need to. And it's not that the dog needs to, the humans need to. More so. The tools are not really for the dogs, they're for the humans because it makes them feel more comfortable. So, John, let me know next week or shoot me a DM or private message or whatever the hell it's called. Let me know how things go. But they really need to do it. Remember, guys, subscribe to my YouTube channel. There'll be some information. I'm definitely going to put out a video either today or tomorrow on storm preparedness for the animals. It does work. This is Donna saying it. We couldn't get Stark out the door on a leash. Now we find it relaxing and take them on walks and looking forward to it after a stressful day. That's it. The walk should be that walking your dog should be the best part of your day, guys. Um, it should be. To me, when I walk Zoe, it's my Zen time. It's my Zen time. It's my time just to regroup from my day, get my day started. Like this morning, I walked her. It was a way to get my day started, clear my head. I had a horrible night's sleep. I need to block all that out. Um, it's my Zen time, guys. You should use it as your Zen time. But you have to start at a point. Watch my videos, guys. I'm telling you, it's not for the pat on the back. Do your research. It works. Um, the thing I'm going to ask people while you're still on here, I know I've asked before. I need some Google review, guys. Get on Google, review my Back to Basics. I need some Google reviews. Google is really looking at it, and I don't want to be blackballed by them because I don't have enough reviews. Um, they're becoming a pain in my you know what, but Google runs the world, so I need this. If I need some reviews out there, good, bad, or indifferent, um, whatever you feel like. Be honest. That's all I ask. Um, but with that being said, guys, if there is no other questions, we're at the about 45-minute mark. Oh, I got a thing out there. Samantha, and I haven't been able to watch in a while. Do you have any updates on Duke? The last update I got on Duke is he's doing really, really, really good. I was happy to hear it. It's been a while since I got an update, but the last update I got is the gentleman that adopted Duke takes Duke. He followed all the rules that I gave him when we first introduced him. Um, Duke is doing phenomenal. Duke doesn't even try to go on furniture anymore whatsoever. At night, he still does the same routine, puts himself in the crate and goes nights by himself. Text us what to look up on Facebook, Google, and YouTube. I'll put it all in the comments here, guys, if that's okay. It's just easy. I'll try to figure out I can probably text it too, but I'll put it in the comments here on all the Facebook pages I'm posting on, as well as what's your name, etc., so we can search for you. Back to Basics Dog Training. Just make sure it's the one that you always see. My logo's behind me too. I just realized it. My logo. But I'll put all the links in the comment fields here. I would definitely get that out to you. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying before that. Getting back to Duke. Sorry, forgot where I was. Duke was doing really good, putting himself to bed at night like he did in my house. Goes to his crate. It's nighttime, perfect. The gentleman takes Duke everywhere with him, from what I'm hearing. Goes out to different stores with him, takes him out with him. They have a great bond, and it's a leadership pack mate. So he's got the leadership thing going. Duke follows because Duke needs that structure continuously. But he's doing really, really good. It's definitely, the happy ending I was hoping and really striving to have Duke have, and he's got it. So I couldn't be more proud of Duke, whose new name is now Luke. He's doing real good. I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy for his adopted family. Every time I think of him, I look back through his pictures I have on my phone of him. Puts a smile on my face. And, it was very simple. Duke was a dog too many people were willing to give up on. Thank God for the great volunteers that didn't want to give up on him and reached out to Michelle from Remember Me Rescue. Okay, my full name? Okay, I will do that. Easy for me to say. Thank God for the volunteers there that didn't want to give up on Duke and saw the huge potential in Duke. Luke reached out to me, or Michelle. Michelle reached out to me to do our board and train and really set him back on the right path. And it just goes to show you guys, he was a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, whatever he was, old dog, had some behavioral issues. He wasn't a bad dog. He was a misunderstood dog. Once we understood him and he understood us, he became the best. He is one of the best dogs. I wish the gentleman that adopted him was more tech savvy, because I would love to get more current videos on him, but got to deal with what I got to deal with. But you know what? That's a great way to end it. I am so happy for Duke. Remember, that's a dog that was 3 or 4 years old, and we were able to help him out. And it's just using the practices that we talk about here every week, guys. There's no magic in this. It's just a belief that your energy can change things. And have confidence in yourself that you know what you're doing is the right thing for your dog. I don't care if the people reactive, dog reactive, whatever. Your energy is going to make or break it. Your consistency is going to make or break it. The calmer you are, the dog reads it, and things change. It's a beautiful thing. I wish more people could read energy quicker because if you use calm energy around people, it works too. So, with that being said, guys, thank you again for inviting me into your home this Saturday morning and every Saturday morning. I'll make sure I put the links up there. I'll get them out on all the Facebook pages probably within the next half hour. Then, once YouTube uploads this, I'll get it on the YouTube channel as well. I'll put the links to my Facebook page, to my YouTube channel. I'll give you my name, and I will also give you the link that I think I can get to do Google reviews. I'll put them in the comments. I appreciate you people. I really do appreciate your love for the dogs and all that. Keep up the good work, guys. Again, thank you for inviting me into your home this Saturday morning and every Saturday morning. As always, stay healthy, stay safe, God bless, and remember, together we can help one dog and one family at a time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. We'll talk to you soon.